Purpose of to pray over this organ, which is being transported to Wesley Girls at Cape Coast for the safe passage. The driver, he's soaking everything in the blood. And for those of us who are gathered here, supporting this prayer, so we have a safe passage through to Cape Coast.
Resting on the shoulders of the region noted for its higher education institutions of caliber and a wealth of industrial minerals and tourism, the central region of Ghana is Wesley Girls Senior High School, one of the best second cycle institutions in the country. The 186-year-old school is the region's most remarkable girls' senior high school. It thrives on its motto, "Live pure, speak true, right wrong, follow the king," to create a conducive environment for each girl's spiritual and moral development. The school has put in place measures to cultivate student talent and give its music department a new face as one of the most competitive educational institutions in the country.
This organ project dates back to sometime in April 2016 when a request was made to Mr. James Scott Benning. And as I've said elsewhere, this whole thing started as a joke. Mr. James Scott Benning and my husband Reggie were classmates from Fansman School, and we worship in the same church where Mr. Scott Benning was the music director. So before church service on a Sunday, they will meet and have their usual jokes and banter. And on one such occasion, I just butted into their conversation, and I said to Uncle Atu that I had seen a donation of an organ to Fansman School, and that he's dead if he didn't make a similar donation to Wesley Girls High School. So really, that is how the whole thing started. And in the subsequent months, about 3 or 4 months later, he came by on a Sunday as usual and said that, yes, indeed, Church Organs Ghana have agreed to make a donation to Wesley Girls High School. So the information was shared with the then headmistress and with the class of 67. And from then on, in the years that, from then on, we started putting ourselves together, following up from when the organ will arrive and how it will be sent to the school and how to be installed. Now, this has taken us a whole 5 years to get to this point.
Me was asked to talk a little bit about the technical installation here at Wesley Girls High School. And to do the story right, I think we need to go about 5 or 6 years back to the year 2015 when we first stepped into this room here. Because we were asked to make an advice for a fitting organ for this room. Looking at the room, we were quite surprised because it's quite a big room for a high school as it is. Looking at that, as you can see, we looked at the room and said, okay, let's look at possibilities, best possibilities. After that, we came with the setup of a left and a right speaker setup to basically fill the whole room with sound, even under the gallery, where also the sound travels. We used the Johannus utility speakers for that in a setup. I think in total we have about 52 full range speakers, 6 12-inch subs and 2 18-inch subs. That is as far as the speakers. You already see that the console is relatively compact. That means that basically the majority of the audio system is put in the back behind me in a wooden cabinet because it's too large for the console to fit in. The transfer of the data will go through a Cat5 cable to the remote cabinet. The advantage of that is, of course, you have less wiring and shorter speaker cables to get the maximum power into the room.
The Monarch series from Johannus combined centuries of European organ tradition, decades of workmanship, and years of research and development. Johannus organs, which are entirely custom built, are attracting the attention of organists all over the world, and for good reason. Monarch has become the reigning king of instruments, with a strong genealogy in the annals of conventional organ building and an embrace of Johannus' revolutionary innovations. Monarch, not a true pipe organ in the physical sense, because there is no actual wind passing through the pipes. In a Monarch, though, you can hear a real pipe organ. And yes, Wesley Girls has become one of such great institutions in the country to walk through the sands of time with the Monarch IV organ.
The worship of God has from time immemorial been part of the daily routine of our dear school, Wesley Girls High School. And this obviously went with music and singing. As a student at Wesley Girls High School, I have memories of a piano in the school chapel which was played at every morning assembly and church service. There were also pianos at other vantage points in the school. These musical instruments added to our daily worship of God, making it glorious and, I must say, very memorable. Tunes from girls playing the pianos after rest hour helped lift our spirits and added to the conducive atmosphere of the school. All the pianos are gone today, but glory be to God, the mother of all instruments. An organ as described by Wolfgang Mozart is here. And it's not just an organ, but a Johannus Monarke pipe organ. My joy knows no bounds. Whether played as a solo instrument or accompanied by singing, our pipe organ, which to me is more than dozens of pianos, will uplift spirits and draw us closer to God. All this, I must say, has been possible by the grace of God. Thank you, class of 1967, for initiating the whole process and for your initiative and contributions that made it possible to have the organ finally installed. Our gratitude also goes to Church Organs Ghana, Nana Kofi Etu, his son, and Mr. Scott Benning. May the good Lord bless you and replenish you. Cheers, Pipe Organ Installation Committee, for your immense sacrifice and hard work. Our music master, Mr. Samuel Riverson, you are also appreciated for adding on to your instrument skills, that of the pipe organ. Thank you all for your labor and love for Wesley Girls High School.
Live pure, first and foremost. Live pure, speak true, right wrong, and follow the King. And the King, being Jesus, is the one that we've established as our main rock and foundation in our school. Even as old girls, some people ask us, but you are still talking about this school as if you live there. We can't detach ourselves from the school because the tradition has gone on for almost 2 centuries, 185 years since the school was established. And we came to meet a tradition where all girls felt so proud of the school that they kept returning to the school, supporting the school, mentoring students in the school, and ensuring that the good name of the school continues and is kept. And so, on this momentous occasion of the installation of the organ at the school, finally, at what was considered the most suitable place, being a new and completed assembly hall of the school, our sisters have found themselves dipping deep into their pockets and raising funds from all their supporters and as friends to ensure that some limited works that were required before an organ of that nature could be installed were done.
So when we received the news that we are going to have this pipe organ installed in the school, we were extremely glad and we were waiting in expectation for it to come. Unfortunately for us, about 5 years ago, it was brought here, but the size of the organ was so big that we couldn't have installed it in the chapel or even the old assembly hall. And so we're looking forward to a new assembly hall where it will be installed. It's actually a get fund project, a much bigger place. Unfortunately, again, the place was not ready because the building had not been completed. And so the organ had to be taken back. Sadly, it has to be taken back. And we have to wait for another 5 years before. And we are very glad that now it's been installed. And we believe that it's going to add flavor to our service. And we are going to enjoy our service better than before. Thank you very much, Church Organs Ghana. And then the 1967 year group of old girls. God bless you.
So after we did the technical installation and we tested all channels of this organ, I started the voicing process. And normally we always start with, we call it the audio part. Since we are building an organ with speakers, we also have to care about the audio of the organ. That means that we have in our Internet software, we have the possibility to adjust each channel of this organ by using equalizers. And that's a process that I started by listening very carefully to each tone of the pipe, so I could see which frequencies really built up in this room, so I could adjust them with the equalizers. And if you do that first, it really saves a lot of time when you want to further voice the organ, because you actually made a correction on the speakers to this room. So it was really helpful with the further process of the voicing. Well, when I finished that, I started to voice the organ itself. That means that I listened to each stop of this big instrument, and well, there are some rules when you're voicing an organ. For instance, the principal should have a certain volume because it's the important stop of the most important stop of the organ. So everything is built based on this principle. So I start always with the principal, and then the other principal stops that build the principal choir. And when I balanced them right, I also started with the flutes and also made a beautiful flute choir. And then I went to the reeds, and I did that for each division. So this organ has 3 manuals. We have a gray division, that's the one where I started with. We have the swell division and also the choir division. And with the balancing part, I did each division, also the pedal. And well, then it starts really to become a big organ. And finally, I went down and I used my laptop with a wireless connection to correct each note of this organ. So that makes the total balance perfect. So each pipe of this digital instrument, so to say, is really adjusted and well balanced to this room. So this will give the instrument a huge impact to the listeners here, because everybody who will listen to this organ will really be impressed by its immense sound.
I'm very excited to receive this church organ in our school. This church organ will help us, or it will enhance our service. That's the hymn practice and then Sunday service as well. And also helps to train female organists. I really appreciate the effort of the Old Girls 1967 year group and the church organ Ghana. It's been a week waiting to hear the sound of this organ. And the installation started with a pre-installation process on Wednesday, of which we had to build the platforms for the speakers and the platform on which the organ is sitting on now. And it hasn't been an easy process because we have to put all these things together before our installation team joins us on Monday. And hopefully Monday we're able to put the cables together. Tuesday we're able to put the speakers up there, about 60 speakers on 4 shelves. It's quite a lot of work. And today being Wednesday, we're able to voice the organ. We heard the very first sound of the organ in its raw state. After that, it was voiced. And it's been a very wonderful and tremendous journey. And it's our prayer that this organ would outlive its years that has been proposed to live here. So we are looking at this organ can live about 30 plus years. I pray that care will be taken so that this dream will be achieved. It's a very wonderful instrument and it will be used for the glory of God.
Wesley Girls High School Regimental Band, I would say, is also an important aspect of the school. I am Linus Mimi Esi and the band president of Wesley Girls High School. The Wesley Girls High School Regimental Band, I would say, is a very important aspect of the school. We engage in so many activities such as the annual carol service activities, the speech day activities, and also band festival and adoremus. The regimental band is a very good community to be a part of and to learn music.
The Wesley Girls High School choir, I could say, is one of the most important aspects of the school, with leading majority parts of the singing during service, leading morning assembly, and also teaching the whole school how to sing the various hymns. The Wesley Girls High School choir has met many milestones over the years, and now we meet another one, the dedication of the church organ. We couldn't have made it without the Almighty God, the headmistress and management, our dedicated patron, Mr. Riversid, and the old girls, especially the year group of 1967.
I'll say this is a happy time for us. A dream come true, because we've been waiting for this day for 5 years. And today, it has become possible, a reality. We thank God who has made it possible for us to see this day. We thank Church Organs Ghana, represented by Mr. James Atoscott Benning and Mr. Kofi Ison. We also thank a lot of people whose names I can't mention, but have done so much for us. But I would like to mention Miss Effie Simpson, who is our National Old Girls President. She has been marvelous. We thank her and may God bless her. We thank the choir master who is teaching the girls. Thank everybody who has played a part in making this day possible and making our dreams come true and our happiness complete.